I'm going to show you how to deal with users using Supabase and Next.js 14. We're going to be creating users, deleting users. We're going to have protected routes. We're going to be using middleware. Here's a quick demo. You're going to be able to create an account. It's going to send an email with resend, which I'm going to show you how to set up as well. So we come in here to our email, we click this link, and now we're able to log in with our newly created account. And now we're able to go to this protected page. And as you can see right here, if we sign out, when we try to go to the protected page, it redirects us to the login. We're also going to be able to delete an account. All right, let's get it. So go to the GitHub repo, got a starting template for you. First thing we're going to do, we're going to go over here. We're going to create a new project, new Supabase project. Call this Supabase user tutorial. And we're just going to have this generate one. You should save this password even though we're not going to need it for this. So now what we should do is we're going to get some of these keys right here. We're going to come back to our project. We're going to create a .env.local file, and the anon public is going to be right here. We're going to call this Supabase anon key. This service role, we're going to reveal that. We're going to copy that. We're going to paste this right here, Supabase service role key. And then we're going to get the Supabase URL, which is right here. We're going to paste that in. So now we're going to come over here to resend. If you don't have an account, create one. It's very easy to work with. So we're going to go over here to API keys, and then we're going to create API key and just name this whatever you want. Permission, full access, and then we add this. Now we're going to save this API key. Come over here. We don't actually need this saved in here, but I'm just going to put it right there. And now we're going to come back to our Supabase project, and we're going to come into project settings, authentication, and we're going to come right here to enable custom SMTP. So if you don't do this, Supabase can send some emails, but it only allows you to do a small amount in a given time frame. So we set up resend so that we can do way more emails, which when you create an actual app, you're going to need. So we're going to click this, and you set this up right here in resend. And I'm going to set this to Supabase user auth. This is going to be smtp.resend.com. We're going to set this to 1. We're going to change this to resend. And then we're going to add that key is going to be the password. So we're going to save that. Now we can get rid of this right here. So inside of the resend website, you can set this up right here by going to settings, integrations, and then doing this with Supabase. But I found, because I have multiple projects, it oftentimes doesn't work as expected. And then this way, it's going to automatically create another API key. And if you're already using it in your app, you already have a key. So I prefer to manually do it like I just showed you. And in order to add that domain that I added, you're going to have to come in here and add your own domain here in resend. So first we're going to do, we're going to set up create an account. So we're going to come to our create an account page. So if you click login and then click create account, this is what it looks like. So everything's already set up. We just need to handle click create account button. So this is a client component. We're going to add use transition, and then we're going to come in here and we're going to say start transition, and then we're going to say const error message equals await create account action, which I have already created, but we're going to go in, we're going to look at it a little bit. So then once we do that, we say if error message toast error message else. We're going to say toast success verification email sent, and then we're going to go to the home screen. We got to come over here. We got to import toast, and then we have to come up here and say const router equals use router. Import this from next/navigation. And now we're going to use this is pending on a couple of things. We're going to disable these buttons. We're going to say disabled equals is pending. We're going to do it to this button as well. And then we're also going to come right here and we're going to say if it's pending, it's going to say creating account ... Otherwise, it's just going to say create account. So now we have to write this function right here, create account action. So we're going to go in here to our user actions and we're going to fill this out. I already set some of this up. It's in a try catch block. It already passes in the form data, which we get right here. This form automatically is passing in the form data to this function, and the form data is going to be the email and password. So we come in here, we're going to write some stuff right here. So first thing we're going to do from the form data, we're going to get the email and we're going to get the password. Once we get this, we're going to say const auth equals get Supabase auth. And so my last video, I already went over this. If you want to check that out, go look at it. Once we get that, we're going to say const data comma error equals await auth dot sign up, and we're going to pass in the email and password. We're then going to say if error throw error, and then we're going to say if no data throw new error no data. So now we should be able to create an account. So we're going to come over here, we're going to type in an email password, create account, error, fuck. So let's try this again. Create account, fuck you. So let's see if this works. Email, even though I already set this up, this thing's a piece of shit. And yeah, it's fucking great. Let's come right here. Let's just change this to 300. Let's see what that does. So now let's come over here, create account. Magically works. Okay. So now I come over here to my inbox, click this, confirm your mail. And so now we're ready to log in. Let's set it up. So we got our login page right here. We can come over here to create account and we can basically copy all of this, paste it in here. We'll change it up just a little bit, come back, get this stuff, put it in, import all this, and change this to login action. And then also import this toast. We're also going to want to come down here to these inputs, and we're going to say disabled equals is pending. We're going to do the same to this. Disabled is pending. And then we're going to come to this, and we're going to say is pending logging in. Otherwise, just say login. So now we got to come up here to our login action. So it's basically going to be the exact same thing as this. So we can copy all of this. And instead of this sign up, we're going to say sign in with password. And so just like that, it's going to work. So we come over here, we do our email, password, log in. That's not good. That's actually fine. Forgot to change this toast to successfully logged in. So now what we want to do is come over here to our page. And right here we see we have user set to null. What we want to do is say await get user. So now we can see that when we added this function, it now knows that we're logged in. Like I said in my previous video, I discussed how we create this. So now we can come down right here and we can say logged in as, and we can say user.email. And so now it knows your email on the screen. So now we can also add sign out and delete account. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this to user.id. And we're going to go in here. We're going to add sign out first. So we'll come in here and we're going to use this same pattern that we've been using this whole time. So we can just go ahead and copy all of this, come in here, paste it, make sure to change the name of this, import all of this, and then change this to successfully signed out. And then we're going to change this to sign out action. We're also going to say disabled when is pending, and we're going to do the same right here. So what we can do is actually get rid of this router right here, get rid of this import. We're not going to pass this in, so we can remove all of this. And we can remove this. I'm just going to change this to signed out. So now we go to sign out action. And now we're just going to get the auth. And then we're just going to simply say auth.signout. Got to say await right here. And then we're also going to want to get any possible errors. Say if error, throw the error. And so now we can sign out. So if we come over here, we click sign out. Boom. Now it knows not logged in. So let's log back in. And now we're going to add delete account. So we're going to come over here to delete account. It's almost identical to sign out. So we'll come in here. We'll copy all of this. We'll paste this in. Change the name of this. import these things. We're going to change this to delete account action. We're going to import this toast, and the delete account action, we're going to have to pass in the user ID. We're also going to add this is pending disabled. We're going to change this. And now we're going to write the delete account action. And so with Supabase, if you want to delete an account, you have to use a different API key. So with almost all the functionality you're going to do, you're just going to need the URL and this anon key. For whatever reason, when you want to delete a user, they make it so you have to use this service role key. So if we come in here to our auth file, you see this get Supabase auth. I have this parameter that defaults to a blank string. And if we set this to delete account, then what it's going to do is instead of using the anon key, it's going to use the service role key. So instead of calling Supabase auth with no argument, we're going to pass in delete account, which you'll see in a second. So we come over here and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to get the auth equals get Supabase auth, except this time we pass in delete account. So now we can say auth.admin.delete user and pass in the user ID. And we're going to want to get any errors that this may give us. And we have to await as well. So we come down here and we say if error, throw the error. So we're also going to have to sign out before we do this. Otherwise, it's just going to delete the user without signing out. So we're going to say const error. We'll call that sign out error. And then we'll throw the error if it happens. I'm also going to come here and change this to delete account error. And we'll come here and we'll just rename this. So now we come over here, we delete account, signs out, deletes the account. You can change this toast to successfully deleted account. So now I'm going to show you how to set up the middleware. So we click right here, go to protected page, which is /protected. And as you can see right now, we're not signed in, but we're able to go there. So I'm going to make it so you have to be signed in to go to this route. So what we're going to do is create a middleware file. Middleware.ts. And if we come over here to these Supabase docs, it tells us how to set up the middleware. So this is the example it gives, and then it also gives us all of this code here. So what I've done is I've slightly modified this. So I'm just going to paste this in and show you. So I've pasted all this in, and let's walk through this a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to get this response. If everything works right, we're just going to return just this response. If some specific things happen, we'll return something else. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to get the path. We're going to see what the URL is. And if the path is nothing, then we're just going to return the response. Basically, middleware will have no effect when it's the home route. Whether you're logged in or not, you'll be able to see the home screen. And then right here, I've added unprotected paths. So logged in and create account. And the reason I have this in a separate spot from this is because I want to be able to see this route if we're logged in or not. These, I want to only be able to see these if we're not logged in. If we're logged in, it's going to redirect us away. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to get the user. We're going to see if we're signed in. And then we're going to see if it's an unprotected path. So basically, we're going to go through all of these and we're going to see if this path starts with any of these. If it does, then it's an unprotected path. So we're going to say if the user signed in and it's an unprotected path, one of these, we're going to redirect the user to the home screen. So if I'm already logged in and I try to go to the login screen, we're going to redirect you back to the home screen. And here we say, if the user is not logged in and it's not a protected path, meaning it's anything but this, then go to the login screen. And then if none of these occur, then it's just going to return the response. And then right here, you can configure this to only apply to certain routes. So I have this one website where everything that starts with /admin is protected. Everything else is not. So you can go to these Next.js documentations right here, and it talks about how to set up this middleware and this config part right here. So now that we've added that, if we say go to protected page, we're not logged in, it's going to redirect us to the login screen. And so after creating another account, we'll log back in. And so now if I try to go to the protected page, it allows it. And also if we try to go to the login page, it's going to redirect us home. Same thing if we try to go to create account. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to protect these routes. Log in, don't have to protect that. Sign out, we can protect that. So I wrote this and I went over this in the last video. we have this function right here called protect. If you're not signed in, it throws an error, says not authorized. So we can just simply come in here and we can protect all these, because the documentation says you should treat your server actions like public facing API endpoints. So we'll come in here, we'll say await protect. And so now if you're not signed in, this is going to throw an error. Come down here to delete account action as well. And now we're dialed in. So that's it. You got any questions? Let me know. You got any suggestions? Also let me know. Peace.